Hello and welcome back. It's Tendad here, and today I thought I would talk about my favorite games, my favorite chill games. Games that just sit around and get cozy with and all that kind of fun stuff. There's a lot on the Switch. I have 10 of them here, so without further ado, let's get into it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's go. The first one, I'm going to do these in alphabetical order as well, just because that's how I like to do things. That's how my collection is. So without further ado, let's go. The first one, A Short Hike. I always wanted this digitally, and when I saw recently that Super Rare was putting it out, I just knew I had to have it. Didn't really care to get the collector's edition, but I still at least wanted a physical copy of this game. I held off getting it digitally because I was hoping, with the popularity that I knew it had, that it eventually would get a physical, and I knew one of these limited companies would do it. And as I said, as soon as I saw Super Rare doing it, I had to jump on it, no question. So arguably I've not played it, but maybe in about an hour. I know it's not a real long game. None of these games are really that long, I don't believe, but nevertheless, just an awesome little game so far. I love the PS1 style graphics, is what I call them, just the way they look. It's very PS1-ish. That's what it reminds me of, honestly. But yeah, just a little chill game, you know. I love these games sometimes. I definitely love my more technical and more involved games and stuff like this, but these chill games that you can't die in or anything, it's always fun. So sometimes you just need that, especially the way the world is now. But anyway, so yeah, first one is A Short Hike. If you've not played this, it goes on sale all the time digitally. If you happen to miss out on Super Rare's copy of it and you don't care about physical, yeah, give it a try. It's definitely a cute little game. Okay, next one. This is probably one of my favorites in this whole list here. I had this digitally, but again, I saw Super Rare was doing it. It was their 50th game, I believe. And as soon as I saw they were doing it, I thought to myself, gotta have it. So I went and got it and beat it again. And again, this is only a couple hour long game, but it's a great one, and that is Abzu. I always say if Journey and Finding Nemo had a baby, you know, that's what this game would be. And again, just a really chill game. You can't die. You know, there's no time limit or nothing. It's just a very beautiful game. And if you're anything like me and you like, you know, marine life and you know, just the sea in itself and water, then this is definitely one that you won't regret getting. Again, this one goes on sale a good bit if you don't want to pay the scalper price that you would probably pay now on eBay for a copy of it. And also the Xbox One and the PS4 have it a lot cheaper as well physically, if that's a route that you want to go. But on the Switch, you're going to pay for it for sure. But super happy to have this one. Don't know that I'll ever play through it again, but I might boot it up one of these days. I've beat it a couple times, and it's about a 2 to 3 hour game, and just really great though. Even my daughter was able to beat it, so it's definitely not a hard game. And yeah, just a great one that I'm glad I have in my collection for sure. Okay, here's the next one. This is an ongoing one that I have been playing off and on for several months now. One that I missed out on with Strictly Limited, but I happened to find a copy in my mom and pop store, and now I paid about $60 or $65 for it, but it's another one that I just felt I had to have, and if I didn't pay that price, I was going to pay way more later on eBay or wherever else, and that is Coffee Talk. Now, I just saw recently, yesterday, I watched the Nintendo Indie Direct, and apparently there's a episode 2 coming out, so I need to get on beating this so I can move on to that. But, you know, just a wonderful, chill little game. I literally get coffee sometimes if I'm in that mood, and literally get a cup of coffee and just put it on, you know. And I've never per se been a fan of visual novels, not that I have anything against them, but, you know, this is the first one I've really tried, and I've enjoyed it so far. It's got interesting characters. There's, you know, I wish it was voice acted, but other than that, I don't really have any complaints. The pixel art's beautiful. You know, it's just a very fun and chill game, and it's definitely one of those ones, you know, good for a wintertime type thing with a hot beverage and kind of just sit down and chill and read a little bit, you know. Sometimes it's a nice change from actually having to play something. So, okay, the next one. This one I recently saw it was on sale at Best Buy. They were like, I don't know, they were trying to liquidate all their copies or whatever, but they were selling it for like 12 or 13 bucks, and I so wish that I could have got on a couple of them and maybe tried to flip them, but I digress. I found my copy originally at Best Buy, and it's one of these games that I've not played a whole lot. I kind of got stuck in it and I got a little frustrated, so I kind of put it away, but I knew I had to have it for my collection just because it is a very unique game and the art style is beautiful, and that is Gorogoa. This game is it's just interesting, you know. I'm sure if I maybe go back to it, it'd be one of those things, you know, where you can't beat something and you come back to it months later and you just breeze right through it. So, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But I've liked what I've played so far. It's a very unique, awesome game, and again, I'm happy to have it in my collection. Okay, the next one, I've definitely beat this one, and I really enjoyed it, especially with the 90s time frame that it's set in, and that is Gone Home. This is a cool little game that, you know, again, it's a unique game, and it's not hand-holdy. It's kind of just, you know, you're kind of going around this house, and it's set in the 90s, which I really love because I was a child of the 90s, or at least growing up in the 90s. And just really cool. Find things like, you know, the cheat codes or whatever for Street Fighter, and little nods like that, and just really taking me back to a simpler time when I was a young man and growing up in the 90s. And the 90s was the last great decade as far as I'm concerned, but we're not going to get into that too much. But nevertheless, this is a great one too that I Am 8-Bit, I believe, was publishing and putting out there, and I think they have since sold out, but you might be able to find a copy. I don't know what they're going for right now. I don't know that it's too expensive, and the game's really not long. I kind of beat it in one sitting, but again, I love the cover art, which I'll put up right now. I love the cover art. I just love the whole idea behind this, the simplicity, but you know, somebody that was born in the era that I was would really get a kick out of this. So if you haven't played it, definitely try it. And it's on the sale on the eShop all the time too, so something to look out for. Okay, this next one is another one that unfortunately I have not beaten, but I know that I'm close to the end, and it is just an absolute beautiful game. Probably one of my other really favorite chill games on the Switch, and that is Gris. I don't know how you pronounce that. I think it's Gris, or I honestly don't know. But this game's awesome. It deals with emotions, I believe, like going through, you know, the different emotions of loss and whatnot. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong on that, but the art style is just absolutely fantastic and beautiful. I can't wait to see what this studio does next, because if they're making stuff like this, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful game. Like a puzzle platformer type, if you're not aware. Another one that goes on sale, and, you know, Limited Run did a variation, and Special Reserve Games, I believe, did a variation, but now it's become retail, so this one's a lot easier to get a hold of as opposed to some of the other ones. But highly recommend this game. So beautiful, so relaxing, so awesome. You can't go wrong. This is another very unique game, and I saw it at my mom and pop store for months and months and just never picked it up. And then I thought one day, you know what, I'm going to pick it up because it's just so... it's like a bunch of mini games, I think, and it's just a very unique game. The art style, the gameplay, everything. And that is Later Alligator. Just another one that I wanted that's just an odd, very unique type game that I just wanted for my collection. Sometimes I do that, and I really do need to get back to it and not feel like I wasted $35, $40 on something that I'm not really playing. But, you know, stuff happens. But what I've played, I've liked so far, so I just need to get back to it. When you get a big collection, that tends to happen sometimes, and things fall to the wayside, you know, and you don't get back to them. But it's one I definitely need to get back to. It was, again, it's just a very unique game, and I just thought it would be awesome to have in my collection. So, okay, the next one. This one I have almost beaten, I believe. Another one that's not very long, but definitely a good one and a very unique game. I think I got this from Red Art Games. I think they have since sold out, but you might be able to find a copy if you're interested, and that is Old Man's Journey. Yeah, this game is kind of neat. I think it'd almost be better to play it handheld because of the functionality of moving the ground kind of to get the old man to go where he needs to. It's a mild puzzle game and stuff, but another one, I can tell there's a story there that's kind of a little heart-wrenching, and things just haven't quite unfolded as much because I haven't arguably played it a whole lot, but what I have played I enjoyed, and just another one I need to get back to. You're going to hear that a lot from me, but yeah, just another unique concept, and I just thought, you know what, I need to get this. I just felt like I needed it for my collection, so here it is. Okay, the next one. This one's awesome too, and I need to get back to it. I got pretty far in it, but and I don't even know how long this game is, but what I've played so far is awesome. If you're really into the farming type sim and the the management type sim things, you'll probably really like this game. And another one with wonderful art style. I mean, it's like you're playing a cartoon, and that is Spiritfarer. You can find this pretty regularly. This isn't a terribly rare thing, so thankfully. And again, this one goes on sale in the eShop all the time if you're interested in getting it digital. Yeah, just another one that I thought was pretty cool. I'm not usually into the farm sim type, but the art style really grabbed me, and the gameplay and stuff is pretty fun. It's got a nice loop to it, and I just kind of put it down. I think I got kind of lost as to where I needed to go next, and there's no more of the map unlocked and stuff. I don't know exactly what happened, but I definitely need to get back to it. Anyone that is interested, I believe it's either I Am 8-Bit or Fangamer. I can't remember which one it is, but they have a collector's edition of this that is really cool that I'll put up on the screen. That it's got this like glow box and all this kind of cool stuff. I don't know if it's really worth $200, but nevertheless, it's a cool little addition to get if anyone's interested. But yeah, good game that I need to get back to and give it more of a chance. Maybe look up where I need to go or something. I hate kind of doing that in games, but I do want to finish it, so maybe someday I will. Okay, the next one I recently got in a pickups video I talked about, and that is The First Tree. I couldn't believe that Strictly Limited still had these for sale and they hadn't sold out, being a very limited thing. This is another one that I just knew if it ever got a physical on the Switch that I wanted it. I wasn't sure if it would, and a lot of times, if you just wait, a lot of times it'll end up happening, but you never know. But yeah, I'm definitely glad to have this one. Need to get back to it a little bit, and it doesn't look the best on the Switch. It's not terrible, and I think the art style kind of saves it from looking really terrible, but it's a fun game, and I feel like there's a deeper story there, I believe, that I just haven't quite uncovered. And I've been busy playing other stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to playing much of it, but definitely one I'm glad to have in my collection. So, especially with it being limited and possibly paying a really high price later on if you don't get it now, So, that's what happens a lot of times with a lot of these, but, it is what it is. Okay, and the very last one, this one, Limited Run, was doing a distribution title. They were doing this as a distribution title, and I just thought, man, that looks really cool. And again, it's set in the 90s, I believe, and just a really interesting concept. And you wouldn't think it'd be fun to unpack, a house like you're moving and stuff, but it really is. And again, I need to get back to this one. I kind of just played it for a little bit and went on to other things, trying to beat Xenoblade 3 and Nier Automata and other things like that. I just haven't given it the time, but it's one of those ones I'll be in the mood for one of these days, and I'll just breeze through it because, again, it's not a long game. And yeah, just an awesome concept, and I really love the setting with the 90s thing and just the whole thing about it. I mean, you can tell it probably would be a little bit better on the computer just because you have your mouse and everything, but I think if you played this handheld with a stylus or something, or even your finger, it would be more than fine. And even playing with the controller is not bad. So, just another awesome little game, a little interesting, unique type gameplay that I just thought, you know what, I kind of want in my collection. So glad to have that. Okay, that's it. If you've made it this far, thank you as always. I really appreciate the subscriptions and the likes on the videos and the comments, and I just love the Switch. I love collecting for it, and here's to collecting more chill, relaxing games on the Switch in the future. Let me know what some of your favorites are down in the comments, and thank you, and I will see you next time.